Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are kicking off the second half in Major League Baseball with our daily MLB pitching preview shows, as always. And right now we are looking at the card for Friday, July 17th. Our call-in guest, as always, is Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Joe Duffy, another successful baseball season for you, right?
It has been, and it's been very consistent. I know that a couple of the other handicappers on my site have been streaky but good, but mine has been very consistent and meticulous.
Well, on Friday, a lot of the pitching matchups, actually, from what I'm seeing, have not been set yet. One guy who is going to be starting is Jose Fernandez, right, for Miami. He's had 2 starts back from the DL, and they have been excellent overall. Now he's going to be going on the road at Philly. That's not a particularly tough assignment. I'm assuming a third great start from Fernandez, right?
Obviously, pitching at Philadelphia is as easy of an assignment as it gets. The Phillies, in fact, I've been going against them on the run line, laying the run and a half, although they've, not surprisingly been a little bit better at home, but that even includes against the run line. But you're correct. I think more than any pitching matchup is you're going against the Phillies, and going against the Phillies, it almost isn't gambling. It's just a matter of judging whether or not the better value is betting against them on the run line or on the money line.
And then a strong pitching matchup, Mets at St. Louis, right? Noah Syndergaard and Lance Lynn. And when you see a pitching matchup like this with 2 excellent starters, both of whom closed the first half very strong. Lance Lynn did get hit in his very last start of the first half, but that was a little bit of a blip, and he still had a good strikeout to walk ratio in that start. So I think we can throw that one out. When you see a pitching matchup like this, first start back, do you expect the unexpected and maybe, expect one of these guys to unexpectedly get hit in their first start after the All-Star break, or do you expect, absolutely more of the same and lean under here?
Well, I talked about how pitchers kind of like to stay. They're creatures of habits, and in the case of Syndergaard, he's going to be pitching on 7 days rest. I think as a general rule of thumb, that's not that bad of an idea. I did run through my database, not so much pitchers on long rest, but teams on long rest, because my theory would be that maybe the teams that the offenses generally stay in a groove, and that maybe the bats would slow down after 4 days rest. But when I looked it up, believe it or not, blindly betting teams off of the All-Star break it leans towards the over. I think it was about 55% towards the over. So we can tend to overanalyze that a bit. Keep in mind that Lance Lynn has struggled against the Mets 1-3, although his ERA 3.42 is not all that horrible, but the Mets aren't one of the teams that he's pitched his best against, clearly.
And then can you give us any insights into Masahiro Tanaka? He's going to be starting the Yankees home game against Seattle. I don't know, maybe it's just a wait-and-see situation with him. He's been good at times. He also can easily get hit, though, here. Is it wait-and-see with Tanaka, or is there any reason to expect one thing or the other from him here?
Well, Tanaka has been that box of chocolates, as I like to say, so I think especially since he's pitching at home, he might be a good go against, and especially since Mike Montgomery is one of those under-the-radar pitchers. Remember, when it comes to handicapping, I don't necessarily look to see if Montgomery's a guy that I'd want on a fantasy keeper team. Is he going to be pitching well, a year down the road? He's in a nice groove right now. He's pitching with a lot of confidence, and he's got an ERA of 2.29 in 8 games. Under the radar, and especially with Tanaka, can be that he can be consistently inconsistent. I think Kansas City's a pretty good percentage play.
All right, Joe. Well, that's all I wanted to make sure we got to for Friday, July 17th. A lot of pitching matchups that I'm seeing still undecided. Is there anything else that you'd like to bring to our attention that you think might indicate betting value for Friday, July 17th?
Well, James Shields, he's actually struggling. Remember, he got off to that great start for San Diego. He's not won in his past 7 starts. 4.79 ERA. He started out the year perfect 7-0. Of course, he did get a lot more run support early in the year, but I do think that Shields at this point is probably a good go against. And Arizona, look, Robbie Ray, another one of the guys who's been sneaking under the radar a little bit. 2.16 ERA. He's probably been their most consistent pitcher. So I think Ray is a guy that I have a check mark next to as pretty good value.
Okay, Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Thanks so much.